enough people present to do the roll call, start the meeting?
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
Okay.
Phil's got to read the roll call for us, okay?
Right, okay.
Give him a minute to get to his
Call the
screen.
meeting- Call the meeting to order and ask you to have the roll call.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dr.
Phil.
Charles.
Can we make sure everybody is not muted so we can hear the response? Okay, Avon,
Here.
Bellingham,
Here.
Braintree,
Here.
Brookline,
Here,
Canton,
Here.
Cohasset, Nope. Dedham,
Get him.
Tommy Polito's on.
Dedham,
Here.
Dover is Dover, Foxborough,
Here.
Franklin, no Franklin, Holbrook,
Did you hear from Barry today?
no Holbrook, Medfield,
Here.
Owen?
Medway,
Owen?
Please, shut up.
Medway, Millis.
Here.
Millis is here. Milton,
Here.
Needham,
Here.
Norfolk,
Present.
Norwood,
here,
Plainville,
Here.
Quincy.
Here.
Quincy is here. Randolph,
Here.
Sharon,
Here.
Stoughton,
Here.
Walpole,
Here.
Wellesley,
Here.
Westwood,
Here.
Weymouth, no Weymouth, Rentham, I hear no Rentham. Hold on, let me add this up. $83.65.
thank you, Phil. We have a quorum, Mr. Connors.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. Thank you, everybody. I would mention the fact that there are two new members, and I didn't follow the roll call, to be honest with you, but Medfield is now being represented by Bob Kennedy. Is Bob there?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome, Bob, on behalf of the advisory board. And
Thank you.
Walpole is being recognized by, represented by Bob Damish. Bob?
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Bob, welcome. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
I knew your mother from way back when she was around on the advisory board.
Yep.
Is that Joanne?
That's her.
Wow,
How's that?
wow.
That's right.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
At this time, I would ask Commissioner Peter Collins to lead us in the pledge of the flag. Peter?
I pledge allegiance to
the
the
flag
flag
of the United States of
United
America,
States of America.
and to the
To the
republic
republic
which it
for which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
and
liberty,
justice.
justice for all.
Thank you, Paul.
Short notice. The minutes of the meeting of June 17th for approval.
Mr. Chair, it's Joe Reardon. I'd like to make a
Mr.
motion to table the minutes. I just would like to go over with the scribe my own remarks. I think there are a couple of inaccuracies I'd like to correct.
Second for a motion to table by Braintree.
Thanks, Charlie.
On the motion,
Go ahead.
It looks like Norwood's missing. We were neither here nor there. So is that one of your corrections, Mr. Reardon?
It is now.
Huh?
Good job. Any other questions, comments? On the motion, all those in favor to table the motion? Is
Aye.
that the table until the next meeting?
Yes, please.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous vote. So recorded.
Yes.
Fiscal year 2021 first supplemental budget recommendation for approval. Mr. Mullen.
Yes, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I just on behalf of the county commissioners, I just want to introduce and present the first supplemental appropriation for approval. And the supplemental is based on the FinCom's recommendation tonight, and based on the recommendation they made at their July 29th meeting. And in the FY21 budget process, this is something I think we all hope to be able to do based on how we closed out the end of FY20. And going through the FY21 budget process, it was very hard to predict at the time what what our unappropriated balance as a county would be to close out the year. And thankfully we were able to close out the year with a $2.4 million balance. What the supplemental budget would do, is it would offset the approved stabilization draw, where they draw on the unappropriated balance to fund the $500,000 of the budget, and that would bring the unappropriated balance down to almost $1.9 million, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Finance Committee Chairman Reardon, do you have any comments on that?
In the Finance Committee meeting, the vote was unanimous to recommend that the advisory board adopt this.
Questions put a motion on the floor to adopt it.
So moved by Braintree.
Second by
Avon.
Question?
Second by Avon. Any discussion on the motion?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Tom Polito did them. The balance is for $1.9 million. Where does that go and what happens to that money? Right? Can the commissioner spend that money as they deem fit, or they have to come back to the board to spend it? That was my question.
You would have to go back.
Yes, we have to come back to the advisory board to spend that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the next question is, I saw a letter one day. We had about $750,000 from the deed excise tax over last year appropriation. Where was that money and what's we doing with that money? Is that included in the 1.9 million? Deed excise tax money that was over budget?
Yes, in terms of the registry revenues that ended up over projection in FY20, those over projections, they went they helped to determine the 2.4 million unappropriated balance.
So it's in that money?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And now, what are we talking about this year, according to your letter, Mike? That they look like we're already $300-something thousand over already? This year's income?
Yes, as of right now, only 3 months into the fiscal year, in terms of what we projected for registry revenues, we are almost $700,000 over what we projected, for FY21. However, I just want to mention we in a very hot real estate market right now, and we don't have any idea at this point what the winter is gonna do, or if there's gonna be another wave of the pandemic, and what will happen with that. So, yeah, yeah, 3 months in, we're just under $700,000 over projection in our registry revenues right now.
And Mr. Polito, any monies being spent will come back to the advisory board through the finance committee
Okay,
for expenditure.
that was my question. I didn't know if if the commission could do it on their own when it'll come back to us.
No, coming back.
How much appropriate. They can't, okay.
You'll be
I
in the
mean, we
loop,
get-
Mr. Polito.
Excuse me?
You'll be in the loop.
Okay, I mean, we get 1.9 and we get 7, so we get about 2.6 right now. If you look at that number, I mean, the market's crazy right now on refinancing. That's where all our money's coming from. And I refinanced my house already, I'm saying so for a lower rate. And that's where all the money's coming from in this area. The rates are so low. I don't see it slowing. I talked to mortgage brokers. They're not slowing down. They can't keep up with it. So I think the income is going to keep on going higher and higher on the deed excise tax money. So do we have anything maybe for our next meeting? Anything out there that we're thinking of doing with the $2.4 million that we should be notified, think about in advance before that meeting? That we're doing with the money? Mike or Paul or Commissioner?
Mike?
No, at this point, I mean, we have a lot of unknowns, in terms of the FY21 budget, and in terms of the FY22 budget, our whole planning process as well. And at this point, it's just my opinion, but, I don't really want to go on a spending spree, or to think about a spending spree, because we really don't have any good idea what the future holds. And if we do have any idea, I think the future is going to be challenging.
I mean, I would applaud maybe next month, think about putting more money in the stabilization fund to, as you say, it's a rainy day fund. A couple of years down the line, we could have more problems. And when we have that in the savings account, long term could be good for us. If we don't need the money, put it in the stabilization fund for future needs someday. Because every year we seem to draw on it somewhat. We give it back, but one year maybe we can't give it back. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Don't be surprised if that doesn't happen, Tom.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Any other questions?
Not a question, a comment.
Ellen?
Thank you. How are we doing with, if we had the money, with the repairs to the building you're in, Mr. Mullen? And what is the status of the repairs at the Quincy Court? And what about the idea for fixing up a place at the golf course? Those are some ideas on how to spend.
Yes, exactly. I mean, in terms of, in terms of this building, we did the repointing, like in the building envelope, I believe a year and a half ago. And right before that, we did the roof. And right before that, we did our windows here as well. So this building is in pretty good shape. In terms of the capital needs we face as a county, actually last week, and we'll get to it later in the meeting, but we entered into a contract with the Abrahams Group. And part of that project, which the advisory board actually approved the funding for at their June meeting when they approved the budget, a big part of that project, is a capital needs inventory. And the capital needs inventory will be like a framework, I hope, of how we address the needs at the golf course, how we address the needs at the school, and how we address the needs we have in the county as a whole.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yep.
Mr. Chair.
Welcome. Any
Chairman?
other questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Stady?
quick question. Did the vote reflect, or is it going to reflect making the Aggie School faculty put back to whole? There were some layoffs that took place and some furloughs. Have they now been replaced, and are they back at the status they were before?
Good question, Mr. Mullen.
Yes, I can include it in the packet we sent out was a memo from myself and the superintendent director of the school.
Are they on, excuse me, Mike, are they online yet?
Yes, I know Rick is. Rick, do you want to touch base on that?
I'm
Well,
on
Rick-
if Rick, oh, I'm on if Rick isn't.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tammy.
Yeah, so we are back. There were 15 furloughs. Those positions have been filled.
Okay, thanks, all. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Mullen, it's Patricia St. Aubin from Norfolk. I'm afraid I didn't get that memo in my packet.
I can send it out as we speak, Miss St. Aubin. I apologize.
Thank you.
Yep. I apologize for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Another question, Mr. Chairman?
Anybody else?
Another question, Mr. Chairman? The Norfolk Aggie, are they, I know we did some cutbacks there last year in overall funding. With the money available, we are looking to help fund some cuts that we had to make there, that you guys had to make in the school? Or do they need the money? I don't know, but the superintendent has.
Can I just answer that question?
Do we have to fund some cuts back?
So we just, we are fully staffed at this point, and so any cuts that we've made, we're living within the budget that we have.
Thank you. There being no other questions? Motion?
We have a motion.
I'll move it. I'll move the adoption of the motion.
Second, Westwood.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Being a unanimous vote, I won't have to do a roll call. Thank you. Mr. Mullen?
So that wasn't a motion to move the question. That was the motion on the question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Call for the question? Are we on best practices now?
Yeah, like I think we did cover, a lot of what we outlined in terms of the superintendent director, and myself in the memo we sent out. But however, I do want to mention that like every city and town, in the Commonwealth, we, like in terms of the county and the school, we have been applying for our share, of the CARES Act and the COVID-19 reimbursements. And the school, has been extremely diligent, about combining those funds, in order to help them in the reopening, and a lot of the cleaning, in the air engineering, in the air quality stuff that they've had to do, as part of their reopening process. But, to date, we have applied for about $220,000, in state and federal reimbursements. And we're following a parallel track with Bristol County, that we established with A&F, back in, I think, mid-April when we, actually started working with the Executive Office of Administration and Finance on this. So hopefully it's our hope, by the December Advisory Board meeting, which is going to be held, I believe now, on December 2nd, that we'll be able to help backfill, a lot of the expense areas that we, have had outlays on in terms of, in terms of air duct cleaning, in terms of the purchasing of electrostatic sprays, in terms of air quality testing, like in a whole bunch of the pandemic related expenses that we faced, as part of our response, to this whole pandemic. So that's what we hope to present before you at the December Advisory Board meeting. But overall, we do know when we last, spoke in June, I think we all had a lot of anxiety about, how we would proceed, in what types of issues we would be faced with, in the first few months of the fiscal year. I think overall, I'm very happy to report, and I know the commissioners are as well, that we, are in pretty good shape. We're all working together. and we're all really continuing to do what we have to do to manage our expenses and to keep a real careful eye on our revenue and the whole revenue situation, Mr. Chair.
Any questions? Being no questions, can we move on to item 5, best practice review? Dr. Childs?
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
So I'm actually reporting out. I had the pleasure of sitting on the review team to choose the audit, the outside independent auditor and best practices consultant. And we recommended unanimously the Abrahams Group, which was approved by the commissioners. And as we had set aside the money for that. And they have actually begun. Just begun, actually, but there's some things that are probably important for the whole advisory board to know. We expect a final report from them in late spring, which will be very helpful to our budget development for FY22. They are starting with benchmarking and looking at benchmarking across multiple aspects of the county. And they will be reaching out to our county departments soon for data, requesting data to do their initial assessment and analysis. They already, even in their proposal, had recommendations that would help the county, particularly around how to better utilize our financial software and update our accounting and financial processes. And our esteemed member from Norfolk will be very pleased to hear this, Patricia.
Yes.
It's a big part of the proposal. So I actually am very excited about them coming on board, and I think they're just starting out with a real commitment to making recommendations to the county that are usable and not pie in the sky, but actual things that we can do that will help our county management and operations work better. So I turn it over to you, Mike. You might have some other things to add. I don't know.
No, I think you hit all the aspects. I mean, and I'm excited about it as well. So thank you, Dr. Childs.
Any questions by anybody?
Yes.
Yes, Patricia.
Thank you, Mr. Connors. Elizabeth, can you tell me the scope of the time frame of this audit? You know, how far back are they going and up to what date, please?
Oh, that is a great question, and I can't tell you that, but I bet Mike probably can. Mike, can you help me out here on that?
Yeah, like in terms of an audit, I don't believe they're doing, like an audit of books. Per se, I think they're looking, like in doing like an audit of our operations, and how we compare to other counties, and how we compare to other similarly situated, governmental agencies and departments. Like in looking at like our financial reporting, helping us establish financial policies, and also as I mentioned, looking at our regional services, doing an assessment on that, and also working with us to develop like a real capital planning process as well.
Okay,
I will say that in their proposal, Patricia, they did actually demonstrate a tremendous awareness of history of the county's finances. So I think it is going back to some amount of time. I will add that. Yeah.
Perhaps that's something we could have for the next meeting answered. And I guess, Elizabeth, if you or Mr. Mullen, if you could tell us a little bit about this Abraham Group and why you decided upon them. Are they a CPA firm, or are they some sort of management consulting firm, or what is their
Yes. Mike, you want to do that there? That's a great question, Patricia. Yeah.
Yes, all the above. Yes, all the above. They are a CPA firm, and they are a management analysis, and a best practice analysis review firm. They actually do, like a lot of training with the GFOA, uh, the Government Finance Accountants Organization, and they do a lot of work with DOR, and with town accountants actually working with actually the Commonwealth, in the last 4 or 5 years has come out, I believe through the Community Compact Program with their best practices. And the Abrams Group has been intricately involved in that. They do a lot of management, and audits, like on water and sewer revolving accounts. They specialize, in looking at at revolving accounts, and the sustainability of those accounts, and where, and how much of a balance, different types of funds should be able to have to sustain themselves. Yeah, so all of the above, Miss St. Aubin.
Okay, just one last question. Where is the firm located? Are they a Massachusetts-based firm or someplace else?
Yes, they're based out of Framingham.
Yeah.
Framingham, okay.
When,
Thank you.
when they came to do their presentation, Patricia, you are clearly talking to CPAs who know what they're talking about. It was just obvious when they were talking about, they had done their homework and they clearly were ready to work with us.
Yes, it sounds like they must have an expertise in governmental auditing and accounting practices, so.
Yeah, they
thank you.
really, yeah, they do. Yeah, and they're a small, tight team that works closely together and will work closely with us.
Okay, great, thank you.
And Charlie, question?
Yeah, so maybe we could just get a little write-up on it, the company, how much we're paying them, what they're looking at, what's the schedule of the work, what's the final product going to be, when is the advisory board going to be updated on what they find. I think this is a great project, and I think what would be really good is if you keep us hand in hand with you along the way, and we are in the know on all this stuff. So that type of report would be great, I think.
I think
Thank you.
that's what Dr. Childs envisioned.
Yes, I'm going to be participating along as the representative from the Finance Committee, and I will certainly report back. It is the funding is what we approved at our last meeting, the $75,000 of funding. And the other thing I wonder, Mike, is there any reason we couldn't send out to the advisory board members the RFP, the copy of the RFP? Is there any reason we can't do that? Because that would
No,
also,
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, we can send, I'd be happy to send out the RFP and their response as well.
yeah, I was thinking there's no reason that's not a private thing. So that would be helpful for you to see. I think many of you have expertise here that I think you'll read it, and it would be great to hear your feedback as they proceed as we are doing the work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else with a question?
Paul?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, just quickly, I agree with the colleague from Braintree. She read my mind, and I think that's what we should get as soon as possible. Also, I'd just be curious as to other communities this firm has done work on that would hopefully be helpful to be included.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea. I think the overall goal of it is terrific, but I just, I think like some background information, as Charlie suggests, would be helpful for all of us. That's all. That'd be great.
Yeah, I was just going to
Dr.
say,
Childs?
that is in if we can send out their response, Mike, along with the RFP, that is all in their response. It lists communities they've worked with, tells us about the firm, it tells us about the people who would be working on the team. So you would know all of that.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate
And
it.
Dr. Childs has agreed to represent the advisory board and the finance committee and stay on the committee and represent all of you and give you updates on a regular basis. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Dr. Childs. We appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Elizabeth.
Don't shoot the messenger, just help me.
it. Anybody else?
Thank you.
You have nobody else?
Mr.
Joe
Chairman.
Red, did you want to add anything?
Yeah,
No?
Sorry,
Eric's
Mr.
not gonna make
Chair,
me one.
I was muted there. I've been having some technical difficulties. No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Eric?
Mr. Chairman, I just, I would recommend that maybe if we're setting up our meeting for December 2nd, that we have a representative from the firm, maybe do a presentation to this group. By that time, they'll have some information. I will admit that at our June meeting, I did walk away thinking we were doing a financial audit as well as a best practice audit, where I think that's where my colleague from Norfolk was going with that.
Yes.
So I believe that I was under the impression as well, we were doing a full financial audit on top of it because of the way we were talking about everything going on with the registry at the time. But I think at that time, we'll have a few months of information under their belt, and maybe they can address this group, and we can meet the people doing the job.
Okay, there is an audit being done also, Eric. That's what another firm.
From a separate firm, okay.
Yes.
This is the regular annual
Mike?
audit?
Mike
Yes.
Mullen?
Yes.
Was it
Yeah,
Mike?
like we have like a regular independent audit done of the county.
And there's a new firm doing that this year.
Yeah, like the county commissioners about 3 weeks ago now, they entered into a contract with a new, with a new firm, Lynch and Marini, out of Norwell.
What's the name again, please?
Yeah, like it's Lynch and Marini Associates out of Norwell.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Is that being completed? Is there anybody has anything else for the board at this time?
Mr. Chairman,
Speak. Yeah, go ahead. Who is it?
I just one question. Are the county employees all back to work? What's the status of all the county employees? Are you in the building now, or what's the status? That's all.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Everyone is back. Everyone is working full time.
In the office? In the office as not remotely, I'm questioning. They're all in the office, not remotely?
No, in the office. Yeah, like our office is operational. Like it's closed, but we're like available and open by appointment.
Okay.
And we're still doing notaries. We're meeting with people. Yes, everyone's here. I'm here right now. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Director, is that also true of the registry?
Yes, I believe so, but the register, I think, is on. He could probably speak to that better than I could.
Yes, hello, everyone. Hope everyone's well and safe. Yes, at the onset, we had gone to a team approach with shifts, but in June, we're all back full time. We haven't missed a day, a work day since March when the emergency and the pandemic started. And as has been referenced in the meeting, it's been very busy with recording. But everybody's working, and we're still utilizing the disaster recovery office that we have over in the Commissioner's Administration building. And knock on wood, so far so good, although I think some of that's just good fortune and luck, but hopefully it continues. But thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Sorry to, at this point, Bill, while you're on, I want to acknowledge all of your past hosting of the Christmas party, the Christmas meeting. Sorry, because of COVID, we're not going to be able to do it this year. I appreciated your note today saying that, giving us an advance notice, and we understand the circumstances, but it is what it is.
Anybody know where I can buy a red poinsettia for my mother?
Go to the Yankees, see Ed Little.
Charlie, come to Avon, go to Nezzarella's.
But thank you, Bill, for all the hosting in the past. And
Sure, it's been a great tradition, and hopefully when things get somewhat back to normal, we'll be back to doing back to normal things, and we'll be back at the registry. But thanks, Paul.
Okay, anybody else for anything? Charlie?
Yeah, next Tuesday is Election Day, and I wanted to wish Commissioner Joe Shea and Advisory Board member Richard Stady the best of luck, and good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you realize, Charlie, they don't need luck, they need votes.
That's true. Maybe both.
Anybody else? All right. With that,
Motion to adjourn.
Kate, I'm sorry.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, before that, we have to adjourn to a certain date and time, and we want to make sure everybody is on the same page. There will be no Finance Committee meeting in November. Finance Committee had discussed that earlier. There will be a Finance Committee meeting, and they have been meeting on a regular basis, and I commend Joe Reardon for the due diligence that he's doing on it. Tremendous amount of work. We've been meeting on a regular basis, as we promised you we would, which is why we've come this far. Thanks, Joe. And all of the Finance Committee. So the Finance Committee will be meeting prior to the Advisory Board meeting on December 2nd. There will be a Zoom meeting of the Advisory Board. Everybody will get notifications, same as you did tonight, and it will be similar to what we did tonight, unless we have any tweaks that we want to make. Anybody else? With that, I'll entertain your motion, Charlie.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous vote. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Mike, thank you very much. Commissioners, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Thank you,
everybody.
Paul.
Everyone.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
Night.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.